Excited to host you today because we are an example of how the arts can transform lives and transform schools. We made many changes this year. A focus on the arts was one of the important ones. Our attendance is higher, our enrollment growing, and our achievement scores on the rise. We believe the arts played a big part in our students' success. We're proud to welcome you here today as we take the next step towards even greater success. Please let me introduce Mayor Lee Leffingwell.
I am Austin Mayor Lee Leffingwell, and Austin is the creative capital of the world. You know, all around the country and actually all around the world, economies have been shrinking, but not here in Austin. In just the last 5 years, our economy has grown by 10%, but the creative sector has been such an important part. In that same time frame, it has grown by 25%. We just updated all of our studies. We have 4 different studies that have been in progress since 2001 on the creative sector. We just updated those recently, and the report came back saying that the creative sector accounts for $4.3 billion every year to our economy, $71 million in tax revenues, and creates about 49,000 jobs, and I think that's pretty good. So creativity is obviously very important to our economy here in Austin, but more important than that, it's important to our character and our culture as a city. So we're very excited to partner with the schools to make sure our students are prepared to take over this business and to lead in innovation and to lead in job creation and keep Austin as the creative capital of the world. Partnerships like this one with the Kennedy Center's Any Given Child program provide a way for the city to plan in a collaborative way with our schools, our arts organizations, and our philanthropic community to make sure that all of our kids are prepared to take their rightful place as leaders in the creative sector in our future. But just as creativity is a serious business, it's also serious learning. So we need to support our schools in preparing not only for those who plan to take one of these great jobs in the creative sector, we know all of our business sectors benefit from innovators who can solve problems in a creative way. So we applaud our schools for committing to the very serious business of creativity, and we applaud our creative businesses for committing to creative learning.
What a great day for Austin and for Austin students. I am really just so pleased to be here. Creativity is central to our identity here in Austin. Artists from all over the world come to Austin to work here and to live, and a city this rich in arts deserves schools that are just as rich. And it is our responsibility, and I believe our privilege, to support the district in creating arts-rich schools. Our art organizations have a role to play, our government has a role to play in that, our businesses have a role to play, and indeed we all have a role to play in this initiative. I look forward to seeing how our schools can coordinate with our libraries and our recreation centers to make certain that our children have a variety of creative learning opportunities, giving them the chance to really follow their interests broadly and their talents deeply. Imagine a city where our students can explore their own heritage through the arts and fall in love with the heritage of others. Imagine a city where children learn that you have to work hard when you're learning a new instrument or trying something difficult, but that if you stick with it, you can be successful. Imagine a city where our young people have arts experiences that enrich their imaginations, and those rich imaginations lead them to imagine new technology, new dances, or to imagine a life outside poverty. And now imagine that they have the skills to realize those images, the skills to create new technology, a new dance, or to create a life for themselves in a profession that provides an opportunity for them to escape poverty. This is a city I imagine. We have an arts-rich city, and we can have arts-rich schools if we all work together. Creativity, as we've just discussed, is the engine of Austin's prosperity. And the City of Austin has recognized the important role that the arts and creativity play in economic development, in community revitalization, and in tourism. And it has supported, the city has supported hundreds of cultural arts organizations and professional artists. And we know that for every $1 invested by the city's cultural art funding program, the arts generate at least $10 and possibly more in return to the local economy. That's a very good investment. Arts, culture, and creativity are vital contributors to our city's quality of life and to our character. But for the arts to thrive in Austin, we need the commitment, the financial commitment, such as the one being made here today, to really help the arts thrive. So I am so pleased, as a representative of the City of Austin, to partner with the Austin Independent School District and the Kennedy Center in New York and the Any Given Child Initiative to provide a system to develop, deliver, and sustain arts activities in our community and to help create an even better Austin for our students. Thank you.
I am just so proud to be here and so proud of the work that our district has done in collaboration with partners like the city, but also national partners like the Kennedy Center, so that we could be here today celebrating, improving, advancing the arts for kids in Austin. Research is really clear that when kids experience arts, especially at the early ages, they do better in school. They attend school more. They're more engaged in school. They actually get better scores in their academics. They get better grades. And when we take it one step further and look at research for students who live in poverty, we find that unfortunately they participate less in arts, but we know that when they do participate in arts, they actually get a bigger bang for the buck. And in doing that, they are better students, they are able to catch up with other students who are performing at higher levels, but most importantly, they want to stay engaged in school. They even used research to follow kids out until they became adults. And in one study, they found the benefits to be quite long-lasting. By the age of 26, students who were low socioeconomic students, when they had the arts, they were more likely to obtain employment with a future. They volunteered in the community, and they were twice as likely to attend and actually do well in college. And then for AISD, something that, yes, the national studies are really important. We did try to go one step further and not just look at the national studies, look at kids within AISD. So we've been, along with the Kennedy Center and our partners, looking at our students, particularly our students in middle school, and that's part of the reason why we're here at Lamar doing this announcement. When we looked at our students who were actually highly involved in the arts, they shared the same characteristics as students that were in the national study. And when we looked at our middle school students enrolled in advanced courses that had exposure to the arts, we were seeing that their attendance rates increased by at least 2 percentage points. And then, compared to students with similar socioeconomic status, ethnicity, and language learners, we were seeing things like double-digit percentage point improvements in reading, math, and science, ranging from 12 percentage point increases upwards of 17 percentage point increases. And while I know, despite the fact that we live in Texas and everybody lives and dies by the state assessment, known as TAKS, now soon to be STAR, and I'm sure something else in the near future, but the point is, it is something that we do look at. Accountability is important, and following their scores and their performance and the impacts of what we do for every dollar invested in our work in AISD means that our kids are actually getting a better quality education when we do arts-rich engagement with them. And that's something you have my commitment to keep. I know I keep looking at Trustee Torres, who is here with us today, and he is one of the biggest advocates, possibly the lead advocate, on our board that talks and works constantly to support arts in our schools. And so without his support, I wouldn't be able to even, be here today. Now, one partner that I'm going to introduce that we are so grateful for just even being considered, and now that we're one of their districts across the country, the Any Given Child effort through the Kennedy Center, where their research with us has continued to unpack and unveil other inconsistencies across our district. And they're going to help us target where we should kind of put our effort and any additional resources we can find. And it's really that without their help, I just don't think we would be getting the traction that we wanted to get around this area. And I hope that their work will help set a model for us on how we do a good drill down in all programs in AISD so that we know when we spend $1, there will be a significant rate of return and that kids will be better off for it.
Thank you. It's great to be here in Austin. Yes, a city that is rich in culture and in the arts. You have so much to be proud of. You have also the extraordinary leadership of a superintendent who cares about equity and access for all students across the district in Maria Starfin, and of course her staff, which are just extraordinary. You have the leadership from the Mayor Leffingwell, and from his staff, and from the council. You have leadership in higher education and in the philanthropic community. So all of these pieces come together and are one of the reasons that the Kennedy Center chose Austin as one of our very first sites for Any Given Child. And the news today suggests that Austin has a tremendous commitment from creative industries as a sector as well. Austin's making a really serious investment in young people and in the arts. You understand the value, clearly, that the arts have for young people. And you have an opportunity to do something really quite unique here. And I can tell you the other Any Given Child sites are going to be very jealous of you. You're going to see, with a modest increase in investment, some real improvements for your students. Rewards such as gains in academic achievement that were just referenced, in attendance, because we know that students who want to be in school stay in school for other subjects, greater engagement in the classroom, and many other things. Austin is poised to serve as one of the national leaders and models for how an urban district can meet the needs of all of its students. Alongside robust community partners who make it happen, providing students with a variety of creative experiences in all the art forms. Some of the cities we are working in now are trying to just introduce students to the arts. You're way beyond that. Now you're trying to build on that to make something really strong for Austin students, to help them excel. So you're on the way to being a national model, and the Kennedy Center is very proud to walk this journey with you. Thank you for being here today.
It takes all kinds of commitments in order to move the needle for student achievement, student engagement, and student success. And we recognize that that comes in many forms. It comes in the forms of policy decisions like you're making. It comes in the forms of financial contributions, and I'd like to really thank all of the funders in the audience today, the Stillwater Foundation, the Weber Family Foundation, the Marcus Foundation, and I'm missing a lot of great people. So say your name in your heads, please. And the arts organizations. There are a lot of great arts organizations who are really committing to student success. Parents, whose primary job not only inspiring their kids, but also running the carpool shuttles. We appreciate all of that work. But if the arts are transforming schools, as Principal Llewellyn suggests, and if our city economies are thriving because of successful businesses of creativity, and if Austin defines itself on its creative character, and if students who participate in the arts attend school more, outperform their peers on most academic and social measures, don't we have a responsibility to make sure that our kids have access to those experiences? If Barbara suggests Austin is very close to reaping maximum benefits from our current investments, and we can become a national model for urban school districts, we have an opportunity too good to pass up. Given this opportunity, an anonymous donor, who is a leader in the creative industries in Austin, has committed $1 million to support arts-rich schools in Austin Independent School District. This funder is excited to be the originating funder, but hopefully not the last funder, of the Austin Creative Classroom Fund, which will distribute $250,000 each year for 4 years to support students and teachers to develop innovative and successful creative learning projects that can be replicated across the district. For the initial 2012-2013 funding cycle, priority consideration will be given to the applications from faculty or staff serving the McCallum High School Fine Arts Academy, the Lamar Middle School Fine Arts Academy, and any Austin Independent School District elementary school with an enrollment of 60% students who are qualified for free or reduced lunch program. The donors pleased to help teachers meet their instructional goals through the arts, support innovative ideas and practices, and increase the depth and breadth of creative opportunities for all students. The donor recognizes that schools can't do this alone, that the city can't do this alone, that the funding community can't do this alone. We all have to do our part. The community, particularly creative businesses, must do their part. And so they're excited to be the originating funder of the Austin Creative Classroom Fund. We hope this will encourage others to lend their support in creating arts-rich schools in Austin, in which our kids can learn the skills they need to be innovators, capable of creating a future worthy of their full potential. Thank you for your support of creative learning in Austin, and thank you for being here today.
Give us hope.